Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below, your purchase and pricing email concierge line for inquiring about the pricing of this or any watch. Email me at tmosso@thewatchbox.com. Today, we're discussing a watch launched by Sarpaneva of Finland back in 2012, an idiosyncratic and lovable independent product. This is the Korona K0 Wuoksi, a timepiece 46 millimeters in stainless steel. Its name refers specifically to an article of Finnish folklore, and we will delve into that. The watch is large, but it doesn't wear that way. So 46 millimeters in diameter, don't be fooled. It's only 11.1 millimeters thick, which means it's about a millimeter thinner than a Daytona. It's only 50 millimeters from lug tip to lug tip, and it has a broad contemporary 24 millimeter spacing between the lugs. So normally a 46, well, you're thinking IWC Big Pilot. But when I throw it on my 16 centimeter circumference wrist, you can see it's big, but I could wear this watch on a wrist down to 15 centimeters circumference, and it's actually quite thin, easily sliding underneath a sleeve. Although it's broad, it's nowhere near the roughly 56 millimeters that you'll find on a 46 millimeter diameter Big Pilot. This wears more like a 42 millimeter round watch, and I think you really need to think of it like that. In stainless steel, it has a nice weight to it, but it's not ungainly or bulky in any way. Taking a look at the strap, you can see it is definitely a Sarpaneva factory strap, as it has the man's own face on it, and of course it's a matte black that looks handsome and upscale, and it's very thick. It's vulcanized rubber, not silicone, so it's not too soft for its own good. This will be a long-lasting strap with a lovely little hollow on the underside, so it vents the wrist fairly well. You can see truth in advertising, no disguising suppliers here. This is made by Hirsch specifically for Sarpaneva, and it has pull tab spring bars so you can pull the tab in and remove the strap from the case without a tool. Jumping over to the buckle, you can see that it's a branded Sarpaneva piece with that little scalloped pattern that runs around his case and bezel, and you can see that the pin is polished and the buckle is satinated, and I love that. So the watch, all in steel, features a combination of polish and satin for contrast, and you can see it is really a nuanced and not just particularly nuanced and subtle, but inventive form. I can't think of any other watch that looks like this. Sarpaneva's case designs are audacious, but also successful. Note, bold does not always equal success. In the watch industry, sometimes bold means obnoxious. Here, it means memorable and distinctive. You can see we have 1, 2, 3 rows of knurling on the screw-down crown, and the watch has an off-centered crown, so it's ambidextrous. It'll never dig into your wrist. It's 300 meters water resistant, and because it is an aquatic watch, we should mention how that connects to the Wuoksi nomenclature on the back. So, Finnish folklore, a smith's daughter was taken by what amounts to a water demon, and eventually he was able to reclaim them by means of diligence and industry. So this watch refers specifically to that folklore. The word means either high tide or for a purpose. In this instance, it could mean either one, and that certainly describes the folklore, but perhaps also the inclinations of the owner and the watchmaker. This is a fun but purposeful watch. Let's do a quick lume shot here. You could see highly water resistant, thin, universally wearable, well loomed, and automatic. It is a practical timepiece. It's also an impractical timepiece, as it includes that most romantic of complications, a moon phase, and there's a quick set for the moon phase. Now, in case you're new to the Sarpaneva brand, the moon phase that he uses, whether it's the face on a disc or the face being veiled by a waxing and waning complication, it is always the watchmaker's own face. He actually looks very much like this image on the strap, and so that's the face whose eyes leer out over this skeletonized dial. Now you can see we have a sort of latticework or grill in nickel anthracite with a satin finish throughout. Then we have the applique indices. We have dial side bolts used for fixing the hardware, nicely polished, Sarpaneva's nameplate, and then a handsome set of distinctive brand-specific hands at center. The watch does have the hacking or stop seconds function, and what sits inside is the Soprod A10, which is basically a drop-in replacement for the ETA 2892A2, but unlike the Sellita SW300, it's not a clone of the 2892. It's actually descended from a set of Seiko movements in the 4L family, but it's made in Switzerland. It's an automatic winder with bidirectional action, a 4 Hz beat rate, the stop seconds function, a 42-hour power reserve. It is quite thin, quite tough, handsome, and features a quick set for the moon phase, and it is a conventional 29.5-day moon phase. All of that, and it pivots on 25 joules. It is a good-looking watch, front and back, and quite inventive. A Sarpaneva original, it will never be confused for anything else. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.